When I was a kid, my dad bought me a computer to play Steam games with. He himself played games quite a bit, but he was the kind of person to only buy those cheap indie games rather than the popular ones. I think to this day he still plays the original Call of Duty 2, and everything else he plays are just random games he found on Steam sales. Anyways, whenever he would buy one of these games, he would almost always buy 2 copies and send one of them to me. Back then, to me, these games were a lot of fun. I didn't have anything else to compare it to, and they really gave me some great memories with him. One day he told me he bought a new game. I went to his computer and we played it together. I don't think any game has ever changed me more than this game has. I mean, this game pretty much made me into who I am today. It made me interested in liminal spaces, weirdcore, horror, all that stuff. And the game was a game called Puzzle Agent. Now, if you've never heard of Puzzle Agent, it's a game that Telltale made. At the surface, it's a simple point-and-click adventure game, following an FBI agent investigating the shutdown of an eraser factory in Scoggins, Minnesota. The gameplay of the game is genius, consisting of legitimately challenging puzzles that get harder and harder as the game progresses. But we're not here to talk about that. What changed my life about Puzzle Agent was the vibe of it. To talk about that, we have to begin with Grickle, the creative mind and the artist behind Puzzle Agent. Graham Annable, who goes by Grickle online, is a professional artist who, in addition to the pieces he sells, makes YouTube short films. One of these videos spawned what would become Puzzle Agent. Simply entitled The Hidden People, the video begins with a man named Gregory and his dog driving up to Wallace's Cabin Rentals. What starts as a peaceful camping trip ends up terrifying. Gnomes, known as the Hidden People, come out of the forest to torment Gregory. The video is fantastic on so many levels, and I may make a video about Grickle's short films in the future, but for today, I want to focus only on the existence of these hidden people. Their design, their soundscapes, everything about them is terrifying. The scariest part of the video is what they do to Gregory, which is, we don't know. The hidden people find him, then the video ends. Who are these hidden people? What do they do to their victims? Puzzle Agent answers these questions. Grickle's idea of hidden people is what turned into Puzzle Agent. Watching the concept video for the game is extremely interesting. As Graham put it in the description, it doesn't make any linear sense, but was more about conveying the mood I wanted to achieve in the finished game. And that mood he was talking about is what makes Puzzle Agent so amazing. So let's finally get into the actual game. What's it really about? Puzzle Agent and its sequel explore the hidden people through a small town with a cult that worship them. Our protagonist, Nelson Tethers, has no idea what the hidden people are, and our journey as the audience parallels his as we understand more about this cult. In the beginning of the game, Nelson arrives at Scoggins to learn that factory worker Isaac Davner has gone missing in the eraser factory. But when he goes to that factory to investigate, it's completely closed off, with multiple locks stopping it from getting inside. He goes to different locations in Scoggins, talking to different people, slowly putting together the pieces. He notices subtle clues to something mysterious going on, such as little footprints in the snow around a diner, until he sees a man in an alleyway being whispered to by a gnome. Terrified, he goes to a cult meeting where he finds the cult members in a trance, unable to contact them. Nelson breaks into the factory using a gear that the gnome from the alleyway dropped, and he discovers the missing Isaac Davner being carried away by the gnomes. He's alive. Something about how this game presents itself is inherently creepy, but it's hard to say why. Nothing about it is actually scary, nothing is gory, but the soundscape, the art style, even the way people talk has an eerie feeling to it. Something just isn't right. Even in the end, when Nelson finds out where the hidden people are and what they do, something feels off. It feels like we're seeing a glimpse into something that was never intended for us. The graphics and sound make this game feel like a painting that should be standing still, not a story. Many stories, books, and films have tried to make a forest a scary place. For example, the Blair Witch Project puts its characters in a spooky forest and tells its audience that there's a monster somewhere in the forest. The movie The Witch does a similar thing, making the audience afraid of a scary monster somewhere in the trees. But the thing that makes Puzzle Agent's horror so spectacular is its subtlety. There's no monster, there's no bad guy. There's just some gnomes. The gnomes aren't even dangerous, they don't hurt people. So why are we scared? I think what makes Puzzle Agent so uncomfortable is connected to what makes liminal spaces so similarly uncomfortable. There's no threat, but something's off. Nelson isn't in danger, but nobody around him is acting normal. People are weird. Some people are literally going insane in some parts of the game, and we don't know why. Something is off, something doesn't add up, but we can't figure out why. This is what fear truly is. Nothing is really scary if we know everything about it. Scoggins is disturbing because it's not normal, it's unknown. The deep forest goes on for miles, and we have no idea what's in there. What do the hidden people even want? We have no earthly idea.